Hey everybody, hope you're doing well today. I have got the very exciting Nine of Cups, and I think that my interpretation of this card is going to be not as happy. Often this is abundance, celebratory, overflowing kind of thing, and drawing on my intuitive interpretation of the Marseille card, which, unlike, let me see if I can just pull up, let's say, the 10 to compare this to. Where are you, number 10? Right here. You'll notice the lack of those dividing leaves and foliage and whatnot, and so it's one of the things I'm going with here. I was trying to think to myself, what is social, communal, personality based, but separate, evenly distributed. I was kind of thinking a movie theater, insofar as I like to think of the pip cards as the number cards as places, and particularly places that it might be a good idea to visit or revisit once in a while, or travel to, just to bring some culture into our lives, round ourselves out a little bit. But yeah, I was thinking movie theater, thinking everyone goes, you're there for the same thing. There's a certain amount of equality in that, and you all sit in this room together, but in a way you're kind of separate, because you're just meant to, there's these expectations, like in a ideal movie theater, depending on who you ask. For a lot of people, in an ideal movie theater, everyone in the audience will be quiet, except for the moments when the audience reactions are expected or are acceptable. So, like, funny thing happens on screen, everybody laughs. Scary thing happens on screen, everybody screams. And in that sense, going to see a movie in a movie theater with people is, better than watching it alone at home, because you're not sharing in that group experience. But also, if you got a couple people and they went to go see the movie together and they're friends and they're chatting and laughing and cracking jokes amongst themselves, not with the whole movie theater, the disruption of that equality is usually frowned upon. So I was kind of going with that idea for a bit. But as soon as I started thinking about, do most people even go to the theater without at least one friend? I mean, I like going to see films by myself, particularly like if I'm going to go see like a weirder art film or something. Like, I just want to experience it on my own without having the shared experience with someone else. I want to see it like just through my eyes, instead of, I don't know, a lot of times I feel like if I go to the movie theater with someone, then I'm experiencing it partially on their behalf as well as on my own, right? Like, sometimes I'll laugh at a scene, not because I find it funny, but because I know it's hilarious. It's exactly the kind of thing that the person I'm with finds funny, right? But anyways, I kind of dropped the movie theater analogy. I thought about cubicles in an office. That didn't really feel right. And maybe that's just because I don't have that much experience in, working in an office, but the couple office-like jobs that I briefly held in my life certainly included a very real hierarchy in the office, and even amongst people who were, as far as their position was concerned in the office, who held the same position. There was no illusion of equality amongst the workers. There were definitely like you know, the special employees and the average and the below average. And then I kind of stumbled across the idea of that iconic cliche trope of that movie suburb. I'm thinking Edward Scissorhands, or what was the one with the homeowners association nagging them? Oh, I can't remember. But yeah, any kind of cliche of the perfectly ordered little suburban neighborhood, you know, that little cul-de-sac, or all those little streets on a perfect little grid with all those little houses, and every house is identical, you know, because everything was just built as one project. And not only is everyone's house identical, like the homeowners association has strict rules as to what you can do with your house. So like your lawn has to be a certain length, and you're not allowed to like plant any flowers or decorate your lawn, and like you can't paint your house. Or maybe it's like the homeowners association is, you know, very interested in keeping up a lively look for the neighborhood, so you have to paint your house a crazy unique color, but it has to be one of these 7 colors or something, you know, like that type of highly ordered, highly standardized community. I kind of feel like this card represents that to me, in terms of a bunch of people living their lives right next to each other and with these very high degrees of similarity, and yet being very removed from each other, even though they're very close. And how that similarity and uniformity is often the thing that drives the separation between those individuals. Because when everyone's the same, there's really nothing that stands out about the people that are living next to you. How, you know, if you can't tell the difference between your neighbors to the left of your house from the neighbors to the right of your house, are either of them going to be memorable? And like, sure, don't get me wrong, I'd be willing to bet that if you started talking to them, of course they'd have different jobs, they would have different hobbies that they might reveal to you. Upon digging deeper, those nuances are there. But I think a lot of people just aren't inspired to strike up a conversation if there's nothing that just leaps out at them. Like, say, what's this thing all about that I see you've got in your backyard, or whatever, you know? When everyone's doing the same thing, there isn't really as much of a thing to kickstart a conversation. And this isn't just a bad thing. Like, I believe that all these cards have, you know, a dark side and a light side. And meditating on them, studying them, and asking yourself, like, which aspects of which side of this card apply to me more than not, you know? Yeah, see, this card's interesting. This card's kind of got the house thing with all the different rooms. I didn't even notice this one before. And they're all in the same household, so in that sense they're equal, like we're all a part of this house, but they might be separated. Maybe everyone, maybe it's, you know, it would be kind of a cool analogy if it was like one of those children's homes where there's a bunch of kids living there, but they're all from different, you know, their families gave them up, whatever happened, they've been turned over to the state. So it's like, it's a house, it's kind of like a household, but it's not a family. It's all these individual kids living there that, like, you know, don't get along the way that like siblings would have some sort of connection. Anyways, on the positive side, like it can be really annoying to live somewhere and have things happening outside your window that are just totally not the kind of stuff that you have happening inside your house in a way. Like when the world outside of your house doesn't reflect the way that you live your life, and hence the way things look inside your house, that could be a really annoying, chaotic kind of thing. And I think that this is one of the big things that drives organizations like homeowners associations or whatever to keep things so strict, because they take every tiny little complaint really seriously, right? So every time one person from that whole neighborhood goes, hey, you know what really pisses me off? It really pisses me off when people mow their lawn before 8 in the morning, because I only mow my lawn at 8 in the morning. And actually, I kind of hate it when people mow their lawn after 9 in the morning. And then it's like, okay, so let's put that out there. Hey, can everyone just mow their lawn between 8 and 9 in the morning? And then again, you get that cliche movie scene where it's, pleasant 1950s music playing, and it's just like the camera car is driving through this neighborhood, and every single lawn has got the guy with the exact same lawnmower, and they're all waving to the mailman, like a synchronized dance routine. And then they're all getting in their cars, and all their wives are kissing them, and like, have a good day at work, honey, like that kind of thing. It's that kind of uniformity. If you're a highly open individual, it could just seem like a toxic degree of orderliness, or if you're very low and conscientious, it's like, oh, it's just so boring and it's the same, right? But to a lot of people, especially like, I don't know, imagine like recently I've been working 12-hour days doing film industry stuff. Is it's generally long hours, sometimes even longer than that. And I get home, I have very little free time to like take care of the things I need to take care of before I need to go to sleep, so I can get a couple hours of sleep before I have to go back to work. And in that free time that I have, it's so much more annoying when there's like people outside yelling or doing whatever, because, well, for me, 8 p.m. is get ready for bedtime, but for them, 8 p.m. is party on the patio of the restaurant that's across the street from my house. Not having our lifestyles and life plans and schedules, synchronize, can be really, really fucking annoying. So there's certainly a degree of that kind of synchronization and sameness and that kind of samely orderliness that's really desirable. It's just that it kind of kills all of the uniqueness that individuals have. The more you suppress nuanced, unique traits and behaviors, the less the people in your community seem like, animated, living creatures with, just something unique about them. So, I feel like the contemplation with this card is, is this where you're living? Is that orderliness there, and is it getting in the way of having, being able to have the slightest clue, the slightest read on the people that like you live with in your community? If not, is there a place? Is there somewhere relatively nearby where you can go to experience that, just to serve as a reminder, like of maybe what the flip side is of what you're experiencing? It could be, it could be some interesting stuff to explore or meditate on. That's going to be it for me today. Drop me a like if you enjoyed the video. Look at this. I got this new slideshow on the shorts. Where is it? It's somewhere. Boom. I'm still working on it. And got some background music. Yeah, let me know if the background music was like too loud or if it didn't fit. I just kind of relatively quickly picked something that sounded kind of relaxed. And at one point, I was listening through tracks and something reminded me of this video game that I like that had references to tarot in it. So I thought, well, maybe this is a sign. So I just kept it. But yeah, let me know what you think. Drop me a like, comment, free reading to be entered into a draw for a free one-on-one reading. I will. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning already. It's not even that late. I'll be back with another video tomorrow. I'll talk to you then. Take care.